The 1960s and 70s were a time of creative abundance in the film industry. Directors such as Stanley Kubrick, Martin Scorsese, and Francis Ford Coppola were introducing legendary films such as Doctor Strangelove, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Taxi Driver, and The Godfather. With all the great movies being made at the time, there were bound to be some that escaped the public's eye. One such film was a French production called Playtime, which was a satirical critique of capitalistic society that featured a curious character named Mr. Hugo. Released in 1967, Playtime was revolutionary for its era and received fantastic reviews from critics. Directed by Jacques Tati, the film features unique cinematography that helps capture the absurdity and enormity of the modern world. No shot in this film is an accident. They are all meticulously crafted to utilize Tati's brilliant set design. Tati constructed an enormous set for this film, which required over 100 workers, and ultimately stretched the filming of this film to around 3 years. The crew had to deal with damage to the set due to various storms, and this ultimately cost a lot of money to repair, and Tati's finances were repeatedly being stretched, and he had to keep taking out loans to keep the film going. Playtime is a tale about the extremity of capitalism in modern society. At one point in the film, there's a scene where the protagonist, Mr. Hugo, who is played by Tati and is the central character of most of his films, is waiting for a man to walk down a very long hallway in an office building. And when the man finally reaches him, all he does is open a door for Mr. Hugo. In other scenes, we see one worker doing the job of 10 people, while numerous other workers stand around doing nothing. Through these scenes, Tati shows us his view of modern society, which is that our architecture and economy focus far too much on grandiosity and overproductivity, which ultimately causes them to be both inefficient and ridiculous. The film is characterized by a mix of surreality and lighthearted humor. Though it is shot in color, a majority of the colors in the film are different shades of gray, which help produce this surreal atmosphere. The characters are comedic, yet they are thought of as professionals, and they act as though they know what they're doing. Tati's directional style brings to mind the authoritarian control of filmmakers like Wes Anderson, who famously gives his characters a puppet feel due to their strict movements and deadpan deliveries. At the end of the film, a whirlwind jazz sequence where Mr. Hugo visits a restaurant that is opening before construction has finished on it causes a variety of accidents and mishaps. To summarize, the essence of one of the greatest films of the 20th century is difficult, so I recommend that you go watch it yourself. It is available for rent on Apple TV and Amazon Prime for $3.99. The film was originally written in French, although it can be available in English subtitles. However, I doubt you'll need much subtitles because the dialogue in the film, for the most part, is distant and minimal. The focus is more on the mesmerizing buildings, the comical chaos, and the distinctly jovial and mocking tone of Tati.